It is Friday, December 15th, and this is The National.
Tonight, with the NHL taking a pass on the Winter Olympics, why Team Canada is looking to Russia to fill the roster.
New pictures from the scene of that northern Saskatchewan plane crash will reveal just how lucky those passengers were.
But we begin with a developing story about one of Canada's richest couples. Barry and Honey Sherman have been found dead. You might not recognize their faces or even their names, but Barry and Honey Sherman may well have touched your life in some way. They were found dead in their luxury Toronto home today. In circumstances police are calling suspicious. Barry Sherman founded the generic drug giant Apotex. Chances are pretty good you've used some of its products. He and his wife were billionaires and big givers to universities, hospitals, and Jewish charities. And their influence extended into political circles as well. Ron Charles has more on what we know so far about their deaths.
Toronto police are saying very little about what they found inside the mansion of pharmaceutical billionaire Barry Sherman and his wife Honey. They left it to officials at the company Sherman founded 50 years ago, Apotex Pharmaceuticals, to announce the Shermans' sudden deaths. All police will say is that they are treating the deaths as suspicious.
It means that we're investigating it to determine if there's foul play involved or not. And at this point, we cannot with 100% certainty say that there is or is not.
The Shermans' house on this street of sprawling multi-million-dollar mansions has a for sale sign out front. It's listed at just under $7 million. Their neighbors, who declined to do on-camera interviews, say the Shermans were friendly and social. One neighbor who was home throughout the day said he didn't hear or see anything at the Shermans' house until police arrived. Police say that was after someone inside the house called 911.
At 11:44 this morning, Toronto police responded to a call. It was a medical complaint, and we had fire and ambulance attend as well. We've discovered 2 bodies of people inside a home here in the Bayview Avenue and Colony Road area.
Police say the coroner will do a post-mortem on the bodies tomorrow to try to determine the precise circumstances of their deaths. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, as good as the Shermans were at making money, they were just as adept at giving it away, gifting millions and millions to charities. But as Renee Filipponi explains, they also weren't strangers to controversy.
Strong-willed, outspoken, and incredibly entrepreneurial. That's how Barry Sherman is being remembered tonight.
Can a drug company say to you, if you want this tablet, give me everything you've got? Give me all your money?
He started Apotex in 1974 after buying out his uncle's smaller company. It grew to become the largest producer of generic drugs in Canada.
He was the bane of the existence of the branded drug companies in Canada. He was not their favorite person, but he was respected, I think. I respected him.
And he demanded that respect, something former Ontario Premier Bob Rae knew all too well.
He didn't hesitate to let you know when he was happy, when he wasn't happy. And I suspect everybody who's been involved in healthcare across the country will be able to identify with that.
And that attitude led him right into the center of controversy, constantly battling with Big Pharma.
They had sought to stop us from selling it. They failed in that.
There was a family dispute, too. Sherman ended up in a bitter court battle with his cousins, who claimed they were owed a stake in Apotex. And his involvement in politics created a stir. In 2015, an investigation was launched over questionable lobbying at a fundraiser he held for the Liberal Party. Along with being a shrewd businessman, Barry and Honey were also generous, giving tens of millions of dollars to hospitals, universities, and Jewish organizations.
Their success, they were extremely successful in business, but also very, very giving people. And I think it's going to be a big, big loss. And the Canadian business community has lost a truly remarkable individual.
A shock to many today as they reflect on the life of a man who not only shook up the drug industry, but also gave back to his community. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, Toronto.
Now to another developing story tonight. A top Canadian gymnastics official is on bail after being charged with multiple sexual offenses. Police in Sarnia, Ontario, say Dave Brubaker faces 10 counts for sexual assault, sexual exploitation, and sexual interference. Brubaker was Canada's head gymnastics coach at the 2016 Rio Olympics. More recently, he was the women's national team director for Gymnastics Canada. The organization has placed him on leave and issued this statement. Our first priority within Gymnastics Canada is always the safety of our athletes. We're working hard to ensure that we have the policies and procedures as well as the education and resources in place to ensure the safety of all of our participants. And Rosie, we will continue to keep tabs on this story, but we're also learning more tonight about two other big ones from this week.
That's right, Andrew. Let's begin with that deadly helicopter crash. Today, employees of the Ontario power company Hydro One, they came together today in grief. They paid tribute to 4 colleagues who died yesterday in the crash near the community of Tweed. Hydro One ground crews will be off the job through the weekend to mourn the loss of their colleagues.
We're a close-knit family, and I thought it was the right thing to do, and our company thought it was the right thing to do, to just stand down, reflect, pause, talk about safety, and respect our fallen colleagues.
The men were completing some work on a transmission tower when the company-owned helicopter went down. Investigators have ruled out weather as a factor in the crash. They will look at pilot and maintenance records as well as aircraft history in their search for a cause. The helicopter wasn't equipped with flight recorders and wasn't required to carry them. Another small community is still processing the shock of a dramatic air crash as well. TSB investigators want to interview all 25 survivors of the passenger plane that went down near Fond du Lac in northern Saskatchewan on Wednesday. But given the extent of some of the injuries, that could take a while. Olivia Stefanovic has more on how survivors are coping.
Cuts and bruises. Painful reminders from Arson Fern's escape from the crash.
I can't say I'm that okay, but we're lucky we're still all alive.
Alive but exhausted. Their son Arson Fern Jr. is in critical condition, suffering from internal injuries and broken bones.
We're going to put him to sleep for a few days, maybe Sunday, and they're going to continue on a operation again. And x-rays, they didn't get to his x-rays yet because of all the damage he's had.
Fern says he started to realize something was wrong right after takeoff.
Engines were roughing up back and forth like round, round, round.
The family was sitting just a few rows away from where the plane tore apart.
Bang! That's when it crashed.
The impact left a huge path of destruction. Fern saw photos from the scene for the first time today.
Crazy.
The event has left many people fearful to fly, but they may not have a choice. Fond du Lac is extremely remote. Boats are only available in the summer, and it hasn't been cold enough for an ice road yet. So the airport is extremely important.
We live in an isolated place. There's no road leading to our community. And the run road is short, narrow, and we don't have proper equipment to deal with emergencies such as the one we just experienced.
Meanwhile, the Transportation Safety Board continues its investigation. It hopes to release more information in the days ahead. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Regina.
But to get some insight into that, how that investigation will play out, I spoke with a veteran flight accident investigator, Larry Vance, earlier tonight. Vance worked for the TSB for over 20 years, and he looked at those photos and tells us what makes this crash a little bit different. Okay, so Larry, what do these photos show you? What's the first thing that stands out for you in terms of what happened?
Well, from what happened point of view, it's hard to tell exactly what caused this, if that's what you're getting at. But what I look at when I get to an accident site like this, first of all, I see the direction the airplane was traveling. I see that it went through, obviously, through some trees here. It went along some relatively flat ground, missed some big rocks over here. It went through trees, which slowed it down. Obviously, it was clipping trees. It took the leading edge of the wing here, beat up the nose some. But the other part is, the really neat part is that the fuselage stayed pretty much intact, which means that there was livable space for the people inside. The airplane slowed gradually, if you will, which means that it didn't take a big G-force. That explains why everybody lived. And of course, the fact that there was no fire.
Right. So they wouldn't have died on impact.
They didn't die on impact.
And there was no fire. So, but fuel must have come out.
Oh yeah, fuel would have come out of there for sure. There would have been lots of fuel around there. But very fortunately for the people who were in the airplane, it didn't catch fire. Because had it caught fire, that would have gone up in no time at all. And unfortunately, there wouldn't have been survivors, very likely.
What about the way it crashed? The fact that there seems to be a big piece in the middle that's missing?
Yeah, that is not missing parts of the airplane. I believe that this is the airplane just opening up. Yeah, it would have hit something to stop it here. The tail would have kept going. It can't keep going, so it just cracked open like this. Probably some people came out through there, I would say. Wow. Yeah.
Are you surprised that everyone survived looking at those photos?
No.
No.
No, not really. No, I'm not surprised because they had livable space. If you look at the fuselage here, it's still all round. So there's nothing that crushed them to kill them, if you will. Yep. And there's no impact that killed them. There's no fire that killed them. So they lived. And they're very, very fortunate.
And the fact is, not only are crashes incredibly rare, you're actually more likely to survive a crash than not. A study by the National Transportation Safety Board found that between 1993 and 2000, there were 568 commercial plane crashes in the U.S., yet only 71 resulted in any fatalities at all. And this of the more than 53,000 passengers and crew on board those planes. More than 95% of those people survived. Adrian, you've got an update on a story that got a lot of people talking.
You bet. This one is about a French-language television network that has apologized for a false report that had very real consequences. According to the TVA report, 2 Montreal mosques asked a construction company to exclude female construction workers from a nearby work site during Friday prayers. That report sparked death threats and outrage online, but mosque officials have said repeatedly the report is false, and they said it again today.
And women working in anywhere, any place, we don't have any problem. Welcome, always the welcome here.
The Quebec Construction Commission investigated, and the supposed evidence in the story collapsed. TVA has now backed away from it.
It's a wake-up call for once, the media should look at these things and learn from it.
That was Quebec Premier Philippe Couillard on CBC Radio this morning.
We almost had a demonstration by an extreme right group because of that.
Apparently, some people still say they're going to attend.
That's so sad, so sad.
He's talking about the group La Meute, which has attracted tens of thousands of followers online. It's a standard bearer for Quebec's anti-Islam far right. That protest they were planning was cancelled. But some still came out this morning convinced the truth was somehow being buried.
I believe they were pressured by the government to say that this interview is fake, whatever, but I don't think the guy was lying.
The CBC's Jonathan Montpetit has been following this story, and really few journalists know Quebec's far right as well as he does. He joins me now from Montreal. And Jonathan, the story isn't true, and yet today in the bitter cold, there were still a few protesters in front of that mosque. What do you think this says about what the TVA story triggered?
Well, I think it indicates just how widely shared this story was on social media, and especially the social media of Quebec's far right. Now, the Quebec's far right, as we know, it's kind of grown in size and prominence over the last 2 years or so, and really it has done so by exploiting stories like this, exploiting stories about so-called reasonable accommodation, about how Quebec society adapts to religious or ethnic minorities. And this story really kind of hit the right note in terms of that kind of issue. Now, the story was debunked, but I think there's a lot of people, certainly online, who still believe it's true, or at least want to believe it's true.
And TVA has apologized, so, can we just say that's the end of it?
Unlikely. While the 2 mosques involved in the story have accepted the apology, they are still considering whether or not they're going to sue TVA. And now a lot of damage was done, but the mosques also kind of took the opportunity to correct some misperceptions about their community, pointing out that they do support gender equality. Now, as for La Meute, the largest far-right group here in Quebec, they chose not to partake in today's protest. They thought the optics were bad for them, but they'll be looking for stories like this in the future to really capitalize on. They're kind of at a critical stage in their development. They can either expand into cities like Montreal and increase their influence, or effectively remain marginal rural phenomena.
Well, so true or not, they will hang on. Jonathan Montpetit in Montreal, thank you.
My pleasure.
Lots ahead on this Friday edition of The National. We hit the ice with players hoping to make Team Canada. Many thought they wouldn't get the call, but now you could be cheering them on in Pyeongchang.
Donald Trump has said the FBI's reputation is in tatters. It's standing with the public, the worst in history. So what happened when he spoke to FBI graduates today? We'll show you.
And is this California's new normal? We dig into why the wildfires got so bad so quickly.
This is the front line of climate change right here. This is where the heat and the extremes are meeting the realities of humans, and unfortunately it's taking a massive toll on California.
Parents may prefer puffalumps, but the cute, cuddly toys are in for some competition, and the competition could get ugly. Not just ugly, but gross.
Certainly grossness is going to be a very important segment of 1987's toys.
Splitting headache. It's part of the Madballs line, and if it's not gross enough for you, there are Madball comic books too. Gross toys are becoming popular on kids' TV shows, and not just during the commercials.
On a good day.
The toy is called Slime, and department stores can't get enough of them.
Slime Pit we're totally right out of, but it seems to have done well. Like, you know, just people just buy it right off your shelves. And the same as the Mad Balls, as soon as I had them in, they were gone, like within a couple of weeks. You know, it was incredible.
Isn't this kind of twisted?
Yeah, I think so.
Research shows little boys don't want to play with cute little toys, so the toy companies are coming up with dolls such as this one. Stinkor, the evil master of odors. He smells so bad he even wears his own gas mask.
I can't believe the smell off that thing.
What does he smell like?
Are you a skunk? Kind of.
Oh, Jesus. Glad I didn't have these kind of toys when I was a kid.
Some type of soap, like an awful smelling. I couldn't tell you, really.
It's almost like a dried bile.
Dried bile?
He just smells like bad plastic or something.
If you think Stinkor is bad, well, hold your nose, because next year it's breath blasters. Squeeze them and watch out in your choice of garbage mouth, dog breath, or death breath. Pass the mouthwash. Jerry McIntosh, CBC News in the toy department.
It could literally feel like you're trying to put out a blowtorch with a squirt gun.
I've never heard a fire roar like that before. I mean, there was an actual roar, almost like a jet engine. And then you're popping and some propane tanks exploding off in the distance.
I'm watching all my friends' homes with flames enveloping it, but you can imagine the tear there in your heart.
We're facing a new reality in the state where fires threaten people's lives, their property, their neighborhoods, and of course, billions and billions of dollars.
Well, it has been a difficult stretch for the people of Southern California, where firefighters are gearing up to spend Christmas on the front lines. The Thomas Fire, burning near Santa Barbara, is now the 4th largest in state history. It's already charred an area more than twice the size of Winnipeg. And while crews are starting to get a handle on it, it is a monster. It's also part of a trend. Look at this. It's the amount of land burned in California from 1987 up until just a few days ago. You can see it varies from year to year, but lately, fires seem to be getting bigger and more damaging. Kim Brunhuber shows us why.
Even for those who have spent almost 2 weeks in the presence of this massive fire, tramping through ash and soot and carpets of nails, this is something different. Colina Vista Street in the city of Ventura, the destruction almost complete. House after house after house after house. And it's not just one street. You see below me that house is gone, that house really too many to count. Almost the entire neighborhood of Ondulando is, in the language of firefighters, on the ground.
It's an interesting feeling. It's, you know, as I was driving up here to meet you and seeing the homes again that are burning, the first sinking feeling you always get is not again.
Captain Jonathan Cox spent his summer with the crews fighting the massive, deadly fires in Northern California. Now this. The Thomas fire burned through here last week, but houses are still collapsing, still burning. 2 minutes ago when I got here, there were no flames here. This fire just literally sprang up moments ago, seemingly out of nowhere. How long are these places going to still be hot?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. A lot of people think that once the fire goes through, the fire's done, but you know, there's going to be areas of heat that stick around for weeks, if not months.
As we walk, the 14-year veteran still can't believe what he's seeing.
If you would have told me 5 years ago that in December you're going to be on a fire where you see 1,000 homes destroyed right before Christmas, I would have said you're crazy.
But these days, California's fire season is 70 days longer than it was just 15 years ago. This year, unusually high winds were part of the problem, but the size and severity of these mega fires are down to more than just bad luck.
This is the front line of climate change right here. This is where the heat and the extremes are meeting the realities of humans, and unfortunately it's taking a massive toll on California.
The biggest factor responsible for the scale of the destruction, all those houses near the bush. According to one estimate, up to 60% of new construction in the U.S. is happening on lands that border wilderness. Firefighters say there should be a 30-meter buffer between houses and the brush, and then, as you can see here, the buffer's only a couple of meters at most.
And then there's also the different types of vegetation. So the native fire-resistant vegetation obviously tends to fare better than the ornamental vegetation that's out there.
The problem is fire-resistant species are disappearing, replaced with exotic species that burn much more readily. With more and more people living in these areas that border wilderness, is this, as the governor of California said, the new normal?
You move people into those areas and you get wind events and extreme change in climates, and you have this inevitable intersection of disaster. What we fear is that these large and damaging fires are kind of the new normal in this state, or the new reality.
Is there any way to prevent these types of huge, devastating fires from becoming more and more common?
So what that looks at is kind of composition of how and where building is occurring in the wildland interface, what the buildings are made out of, what the street widths look like, what the vegetation around it looks like, and more importantly, in the bigger scale, what kind of fuel management we can do around a community so that when a fire does start, it doesn't have a continuous fuel bed.
Of course, it's too late for Ondulando. These Italian-style villas in the hills now more closely resemble Roman ruins. Firefighters still don't know how the Thomas fire started, but ultimately, Cox says, by slowly building all these houses next to all that fuel, you could say they've been setting this fire for years. Kim Brunhuber, CBC News, Ventura County, California.
We have new details tonight on Delilah Saunders, the young woman with the failing liver. As we showed you last evening, the Indigenous activist is seriously ill. But her family says she is being denied a transplant because she hasn't stayed sober for 6 months. Now, since our story, she was moved from Ottawa to Toronto, and tonight we spoke with her brother and cousin.
As it is right now, we are being told that she's doing a bit better every day. We can see that in the blood work, the past couple tests they've done.
There is a team of doctors that need to assess her before they can actually have a proper, I guess, understanding of what can happen. And so once each doctor has assessed her, they need to come together and make the final judgment on what is going to happen and how they will proceed. Us coming here does not mean that she is getting a liver. It doesn't. It just means that they are finally assessing her properly and giving her the chance to fight and prove that she is capable.
The idea that you can simply say just because someone struggled with addiction that they don't deserve another chance to get their life back on track, to return to their families, it's borderline criminal. This is not only a problem because of the way the rules are set up, I suppose. But it's also a problem because when you think about the sheer numbers, if there were more people out there registering to be an organ donor, there would be no shortage. There would be no problems for any families out there.
We will continue to follow this, obviously, as it develops. Now, Donald Trump's threat to throw out NAFTA has a lobster company in Nova Scotia turning to tech.
This is where we take live lobsters, run them through the HPP unit, and manually shuck raw meats.
That machine allows the company to pump out a product that chefs prefer, and that could mean new opportunities around the globe. That's next on The National. Plus, The Last Jedi is officially in theaters. Check out these fans we found at a theater in downtown Toronto today. Coming up, we'll hear from fans across the country, but first, this. There it is. These are kids from École de l'Harmonie, certainly living up to their name, giving The Last Jedi a musical premiere in Beauport, Quebec.
About the popular vote.
Facebook has also been roundly criticized for becoming a home to fake news. But is YouTube, the video sharing website owned by Google, any better?
We know that our government has no problem killing masses of civilians, okay?
People looking for information in the moments immediately after a breaking news story are often getting a mix of fact and fabrication. Take, for example, the mass shooting earlier this month at a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas.
Brother Jim reporting here from End Times Prophecy News.
Within hours, dozens of videos popped up purporting to have exclusive details on the shooter.
I have 100% proof here that he's far leftist and he's Antifa, okay?
And they quickly gathered tens of thousands of views, pushing them to the top of the most watched algorithms.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting worldwide.
Alex Jones, who created InfoWars, is probably the best-known conspiracy theorist and fake news peddler on YouTube.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap.
His YouTube channel has more than 2 million subscribers. That's only slightly fewer than CNN's YouTube channel. BuzzFeed's Jane Litvinenko covers the problem of fake news and thinks we should all be paying more attention to what's happening at YouTube.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about what's been happening on Facebook and Twitter. How is YouTube different when it comes to fake news?
YouTube is different because it doesn't play to emotion the same way that Facebook or Twitter do. So when you share a headline to Facebook or Twitter, it's the headline that matters. With YouTube, it's the actual contents of the video that matters. So with YouTube, somebody will take your hand and walk you through their conspiracy or their coverage, if you will.
And they're quick to jump in, right?
Absolutely.
After these breaking news events like we showed.
Absolutely. That's the very similar thing between YouTube and other social media networks, that they're a lot faster than the legitimate information that's reaching them.
Okay, so when we talk about legitimate information now, are people getting their news from YouTube?
Some people are. I mean, YouTube is its own social network. Just as some people exclusively get news from Facebook and exclusively get news from Twitter or any other website, YouTube is its own bubble. And there's no question that people are watching these videos and they're thinking that they have the whole picture.
And if you did try to challenge some of the stuff that's out there, is it even possible to do that?
It is so difficult with YouTube. So YouTube video is 10 minutes long, for example, or 15 minutes long. And in the span of those 15 minutes, we're getting so much information and so many either facts or fiction that to break it down and to challenge it, you would have to go point by point by point by point. But whereas on Facebook or Twitter, there's a way to sort of reply or flag false content, there isn't on YouTube. So there's no guarantee that somebody who's watched the video on YouTube will also see all the points that you're debunking elsewhere.
But what about the comments section?
Oh, the comment section. Sure, you could place it there, but there are thousands of comments on a lot of these videos, hundreds. It's so easy for the real information to get lost.
So there's tons of pressure on Facebook, on Twitter as well, to kind of clean up its act and get rid of the fake news and all of the ways that it probably should have done something about 5 years ago. Is there any pressure on YouTube?
So there is some pressure on Google, and most of that is coming from U.S. lawmakers.
My brother was, a voice that he was passionate. He had passion for Labrador, like you would believe, and the people of Labrador. And he believed in helping and wanted to help.
The mayor of Happy Valley-Goose Bay has died. John Hickey had been in hospital since last weekend when he suffered a gunshot wound to the face. His family says he was checking rabbit snares when his gun went off. He died in hospital last night. John Hickey was 62 years old. And new details tonight about a deadly E. coli outbreak linked to romaine lettuce. The Public Health Agency of Canada has confirmed 30 cases. One person has died and a dozen others have been hospitalized. The cases are spread across 5 provinces: Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland and Labrador. Officials are still trying to track down the source of the contamination.
To the U.S. now, where Donald Trump shows no sign of changing course as the FBI's Russia probe draws closer. Today, he called the investigation a Democrat hoax, and he isn't ruling out a pardon for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
About Michael Flynn, would you consider a pardon for Michael Flynn?
I don't want to talk about pardons for Michael Flynn yet. We'll see what happens. Let's see.
Donald Trump made that comment on his way to an engagement, which might have been a little bit awkward after weeks of trashing the FBI. The president spoke to a class of its graduates. Here's Lindsay Duncombe.
Speaking to graduates at the FBI Academy, Donald Trump lavished praise.
And I want you to know that with me as your president, America's police will have a true friend and loyal champion in the White House, more loyal than anyone else can be, I tell you.
Hold on. Let's go back 1 hour when the president said this.
Well, it's a shame what's happened with the FBI. It's a very sad thing to watch, I will tell you that.
Why the change in tone? It's all part of the growing pushback against Robert Mueller's investigation and the perception by many conservatives that the special counsel and former FBI director is biased against the president.
Another big story. This is huge.
This week, Fox News published anti-Trump text messages between an FBI agent and his colleague, an FBI lawyer. They referred to Trump as a loathsome human and an idiot. The agent had been working on the Mueller investigation. He was kicked off the team in the summer because of the texts. The lawyer left the investigation earlier for unrelated reasons. Republican Congress members grilled Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who appointed Mueller.
How, with a straight face, can you say that this group of Democrat partisans are unbiased and will give President Trump a fair shake?
Rosenstein defended Mueller.
Director Mueller has, throughout his lifetime, been a dedicated and respected and heroic public servant.
But there is concern Trump may move to fire the special counsel. One member of Congress pushing for it.
And I call on my Republican colleagues to join me in calling for the firing of Bob Mueller.
All of this as there are signs the investigation could be closing in on the West Wing. The Washington Post reported tonight the president's senior advisor's son-in-law is looking to hire a crisis public relations team. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, one of President Trump's judicial nominees has just become a viral sensation for all the wrong reasons. Matthew Spencer Peterson appeared before the Senate Judiciary Committee earlier this week, and if you think your last job interview went poorly, just know it was probably better than his.
Have you ever tried a jury trial?
I have not.
Civil?
No.
Criminal?
No.
Bench?
No.
State or federal court?
I have not.
Okay. Have you ever taken a deposition?
I was involved in taking depositions when I was associate at Wiley Ryan when I first came out of law school.
Have you ever tried taking a deposition by yourself?
I believe no.
Okay. Have you ever argued a motion in state court?
I have not.
Have you ever argued a motion in federal court?
No.
Do you know what a motion in limine is?
I would probably not be able to give you a good definition right here at the table.
Do you know what the younger abstention doctrine is?
I've heard of it, but again,
how about the Pullman abstention doctrine?
I heard.
You'll all see that a lot in federal court.
So that video has elicited a few laughs, but it points to a larger phenomenon. Another Trump nominee, Leonard Stephen Graz, was narrowly confirmed even though the American Bar Association had deemed him unqualified. And under pressure, the White House recently withdrew the nomination of two others, also deemed unqualified by the bar. Brett Talley, a former ghost hunter who has never tried a case and once made a comment online defending the KKK, and Jeff Mateer, who has called transgender children evidence of Satan's plan.
It was wild tape. A large-scale Rcmp review of sexual assault cases is about to expand, and in a dramatic way. The task force in charge has decided to re-examine every sexual assault case since 2015 where no charges were laid, no matter the reason. That means 25,000 closed sexual assault cases will be reviewed. That's after the police force found gaps in how previous allegations were investigated. The CBC's Alison Crawford joins us now. Alison, why is the Rcmp doing this?
Well, essentially, the Rcmp is expanding the scope of its original sexual assault case review from those cases labeled unfounded to every single case where no charge was laid, and going back to 2015, 16, and 17. And remember, that original review was only for cases in 2016. That means they have to now review 25,000 more sexual assault cases, and they're expanding their sexual assault review team from 4 to 17 people.
Okay, so the people who work with the sexual assault victims, what have they been saying about this move by the police?
Groups who work with sexual assault victims are very pleased that the Rcmp is going back and looking at all of those cases, because they say some of the investigative gaps that were identified in that first review, you know, where investigators may not have been familiar with up-to-date sexual assault case law, or maybe they were subscribing to rape myths, or there was a lack of documentation. All of those things may also be present in other investigations, not just the ones that are classified as unfounded. So they're happy that this review is taking place. However, they say, look, there are a lot of police officers and agencies across Canada who are reviewing cases and looking at how to do things better in the future. And the thing is they're not coordinated, and they're suggesting that perhaps it's time for the federal government to step in and make sure that police agencies across the country are all handling cases the same way moving forward, so it doesn't matter where you report a crime like sexual assault.
Okay, Alison Crawford, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Canada's retiring Chief Justice Beverly Mclaughlin marked her final day in that job with a rare press conference, a farewell with a warning.
We have a problem with access to justice, which is a broad term that covers delays, costs, anything that prevents people from getting ready access to justice.
Mclaughlin spent 28 years on the Supreme Court, including 17 as Chief Justice. She was the first woman to hold that post. Quebec Justice Richard Wagner will be sworn in as her replacement on Monday. I sat down with Beverly Mclaughlin recently to talk about the legacy of what's come to be known as the Mclaughlin Court and how some of its major decisions changed this country, including assisted dying, an issue Mclaughlin supported through, though in the minority, all the way back in 1993.
I want to talk to you about assisted dying, only because you were ahead of your time on this. I mean, you really were. Back in the Sue Rodriguez case, you had a dissenting opinion in '93 where you believed that people should have this ability. It took an awfully long time for the rest of the country to catch up with you. So Why do you think that you were so ahead on that?
Well, there were several other judges who agreed with me, I have to point out, even in the Rodriguez case, and it was a difficult case for us then. And it is a difficult issue. But I think if you look at the judgment, you'll see that what had happened, the principal change was that there was a lot more evidence on how assisted dying could be made to work in a respectful and civilized way. And the worldview was changing. There were many countries in the world that had grappled with this issue. So the perspectives and the facts on the ground changed, perhaps social attitudes a little, but those were the major changes.
You can watch that full interview with Canada's former Chief Justice, Beverly Mclaughlin, this Sunday on The National. Provinces have one more year to come up with a plan for carbon pricing before Ottawa steps in.
We will be evaluating the different options that are put forward by the provinces in 2018 to make sure that they do comply with the standard that we've set.
That standard is at least $10 per ton by the end of next year, and the price has to rise by that much then every year until it hits $50 per ton in 2022. If a province's plan doesn't meet the federal standard, a national price will be imposed. The latest round of NAFTA negotiations have wrapped up, and the future of the trade deal, well, it remains uncertain. So some businesses are starting to look for new markets beyond North America. Tom Murphy now on the push to sell lobster overseas.
In Centerville, Nova Scotia, where, by the way, they joke they live smack dab in the middle of nowhere, this small lobster processing plant is actually finding success with its new tact on trade.
Everybody looks good in one of these, don't they?
A place where hairnets meet high tech.
Now I look great as Santa Claus in this.
Old Santa there is actually Robert McDonald.
This is our high-pressure processing room.
General manager and globetrotter for Gidney Fisheries.
This is where the new technology is.
He crisscrosses the planet, massaging new markets. And with this new state-of-the-art device, he's eking out an edge.
This is where we take live lobsters, run them through the HPP unit, and manually shuck raw meats.
More on the HPP unit, the latest technology, in a minute.
The fact is, NAFTA, whether it's Mexico or Canada, is a disaster.
First to that most immediate of concerns, the NAFTA talks apparently going south. Bad news when the U.S. is by far your biggest customer.
Yes, we all watch the negotiations. Yes, we're all concerned about what will happen. There's stability in having an agreement in place and the knowledge that your products are going to be priced appropriately. And
whatever happens to NAFTA, the U.S. will still be a big customer. But with 15,000 lobsters a day going through this plant, you can't wait around to see how big.
So what's it like running a business when you know there's that uncertainty about which way negotiations might go?
Perhaps it may want to bring you to refocus your efforts on other international markets.
Now, those who like lobster like it a lot, but let's be honest, it can be awkward to eat. Okay, at a place like the Shediac Lobster Festival, they may take it to the extreme, but you get the idea. It can be messy. High-end dining, that's where there are growing markets. But they want a more, shall we say, refined product. All right, let's take you back to that state-of-the-art technology, the HPP, or high-pressure process. This company just installed a few months ago.
Basically, we take a live lobster that you'll see here and behind us. We load them into a plastic tube. Cylinders run through this unit. The chamber fills with water. Pressure is increased. It can go as high as 87,000 psi. And that effectively compresses the meat within the shell. The exiting lobster has been dispatched. You still have to shuck it manually by hand. But yes,
it's a lot easier.
The release is complete.
And the chefs like it like that.
Completely raw allows them to cook it to the appropriate texture that they prefer.
A so-called value-added, more profitable product that is landing on more plates at five-star restaurants around the world, thanks in part to trade agreements. Canada's new deal with the European Union has already slashed tariffs on live lobsters by 8%, and soon frozen lobster too. The U.S. doesn't have a deal with Europe, so advantage, Canada.
So you like trade agreements?
At the end of the day, yes. I mean, We saw a significant bump in our exports to Korea last year when the final tariffs came off of our live lobsters. That's been sustained business for us. That was a result of a well-negotiated trade agreement.
Would you like to have one with China?
Perhaps. That might be beneficial, indeed. China has, yes, quickly jumped up the list to be the #2 export country and destination for lobster products behind the U.S.
The lesson, of course, is diversify your trading partners. No, chances are you've never heard of this place, but in this age of uncertainty with NAFTA, they're exactly where they want to be. Tom Murphy, CBC News, Centerville, Nova Scotia.
When Olympic hockey begins 2 months from now, Canada's NHL stars will be nothing but spectators. Just ahead on the National, meet the little-known players who may get the shot of a lifetime.
Just thinking about it makes me emotional sometimes, and to be able to make this team possibly is probably one of the greatest accomplishments of my life.
Hi, my name's Jordan Kotchuk. I'm your new best friend.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, let's go do stuff.
Okay, let's see. You know, we're running around, working. People are working a lot harder. We have less time to play with our kids. We have less time to do the things we want. Why? Because we seem to feel we've got to get more money in order to buy more stuff. And yet, if you think about it, does stuff make us happier? I think that we've got to really sit down and ask, what is it all about? What are the things that really matter?
So what are we going to do today? What do you want to do today?
Well, the thing that I do when, you know, as I do say, I travel too much, but the thing I've tried to do wherever I go is to slot in a bit of time and go to a gym. I just do this 15 times.
Keep it going.
So you're going to start soon?
Exercising?
Yeah.
You live a great life, you're careful with the environment, but is there something you indulge in that makes you feel really guilty?
Well,
there's got to be something. Do you burn styrofoam for fun? Do you, I don't know.
French fries. I have a weakness for French fries.
Then why are French fries so bad?
Well, they're bad for me. They're bad for me.
Do you?
Hey, thank you very much.
No problem.
Yum. Oh, boy. No. Oh, awesome. You feel guilty? No.
Now, I have to admit, I'm a little intimidated because you're you.
You're bigger than me? What do you mean?
Well, no, not fight-wise, but you know, like, is he gonna look at the leather in my coat? Is my coffee cup recyclable? You know, do you kind of walk around and just?
No, if I did that, of course, I'd be mad all the time, and I'd be a drag. Nobody would want to spend any time with me. No, I think it's very important that we not be so judgmental that we can't meet people, talk to them. As I say, we all live with inconsistencies. We're not going to be perfect little environmentalists, perfect parents, or whatever. And we have to accept that. Good aim. Yeah.
And it sometimes crosses my mind and really bothers me that we are just apes. We are just animals.
Shouldn't bother you. I mean, that's the celebration to me. I mean, our chimpanzees are our brothers and sisters.
I know, isn't that wild?
But that's great. They're our relatives.
I guess. Maybe that's why it's such a hairy back. I don't know.
Well, you're not as evolved as Asians, of course, so you're hairier like the apes. But,
I guess you're right. Ukrainians are very hairy. You guys see my Uncle Ron. David, thank you for being my new best friend. Did you have a good time?
It's been a great time, yeah.
Great. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'll miss you
again.
Chris Kunitz got to the puck first, shoots, he scores!
That was a pretty thrilling moment from Sochi, Russia, almost 4 years ago, when some of Canada's biggest hockey stars struck Olympic gold. Those marquee players will be nowhere in sight 2 months from now when Olympic men's hockey roars back into life in Pyeongchang, South Korea. The NHL won't let its players compete. So Chris Brown caught up with Canadians now in the running for their own golden moment.
The iconic red and white uniforms of Team Canada may be familiar, but the faces under the helmets probably are not. With the NHL superstars out of the Olympics, Canadians playing in Europe and Russia suddenly find themselves as Olympic hopefuls. Players such as René Bourque, who skated with 6 different NHL teams. They're all together for the first time this week at a pre-Olympic tournament in Moscow.
I couldn't have dreamed of a better situation. Like most of us here, I think we realized we would never be in this spot, but now that we are, we want to take advantage of it.
The last few Olympics, you really didn't need a program to know the players on the men's hockey team. They're already among the most famous athletes in Canada. Not so with these lesser knowns who now all have a shot at hockey immortality.
Russia's Continental Hockey League is generally seen as the #2 league in the world after the NHL, and 19 Canadians trying to crack the Olympic roster play for KHL clubs, including former Colorado Avalanche, Wojtek Wolski.
This is a pretty great thing to be able to do and to be able to try out for this team. Just thinking about it makes me emotional sometimes, and to be able to make this team possibly is probably one of the greatest accomplishments of my life.
General Manager Sean Burke predicts once the tournament starts, fans will quickly forget the superstars stayed home.
It's the Olympic Games. It's the greatest sporting event in the world. So, I don't know what the general feeling is. Obviously, I think in Canada, when you sit down, the Olympics come on, you're going to watch.
Team Russia and Team Canada.
Russians, weary of Olympic doping controversies, seem excited to finally start thinking about top-tier hockey. The pre-Olympic face-off with Canada has been heavily hyped on Russian TV. Though the Russian team won't be allowed to wear Russian colors or even call itself Team Russia as punishment for the doping scandal, Russians clearly want to see their players win. We must go to defend the honor and dignity of our country, said Russian star Pavel Datsyuk. As for doping, while we were at the practice, 4 nondescript officials showed up for a surprise testing of Canada's players. Head coach Willie Desjardins says players have had the rules drilled into them.
I don't know, stuff can come out in testing, but our guys know the situation. Our Hockey Canada and our doctors have done a good job educating our players.
On the ice, the coach says things are still rough. The players don't know each other. Management has until January 21st to sort out the issues before deciding who goes to the Olympics. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.
Go deeper on the stories of the day earlier in the day. Subscribe to our newsletter at cbcnews.ca/The National.
Pleases me to be here and give this award to Gordon. I've known Gordon for a long time. And I know he's been offered this award before, but he hasn't ever accepted it because he wanted me to come and give it to him. So anyway, he's somebody of rare talent and all that. And here's a video clip now of his recent and not so recent achievements.
Right now, we're delighted to welcome to our show our very good friend, the fabulous Gordon Lightfoot.
Sad to watch them lay, but I'll be cool because I don't believe the railroad men grew restless for to hear the hammers ring. Their minds were overflowing with the visions of their day, and many a fortune won and lost, and many a debt to pay. Just like an old about a ghost from a wishing well, in a castle dark or a fortress throne, with chains upon my feet. You know that ghost trust is me. And I'm a man, I'll be set free as long as I'm a ghost that you can't see. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa.
Doing it. Right. Should I leave now when you make this speech? I think I will. That's right. Let's get down for my friends, okay? All right. Okay. All right, here it is. One grateful guy from Aurelia.
On The National tonight, lawyers for Harvey Weinstein are asking that a Canadian woman who accused him of sexual assault publicly identify herself. She's an Ontario actor who sued Weinstein in October but wants to remain anonymous. The case is back in court in February.
And the liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket and Dragon spacecraft.
Another milestone moment for SpaceX. For the first time, the company reused a rocket for a NASA space mission. And not only that, the cargo capsule being sent into space was also reused. On board, food, supplies, new equipment, and possibly, we understand, even some Christmas presents for the International Space Station crew. And Meghan Markle is going to be a May bride. Kensington Palace says Markle and Prince Harry will marry on May 18th. In a break in tradition, a Saturday royal wedding. Most are on weekdays. Soccer fans will have a choice to make as well. The FA Cup final is set for the same day. Its president will certainly miss the game. That role is held by Prince William.
I mean, it's the original fantasy, right? It's a space fantasy. Flying through space and the explosions and the excitement.
The Force.
Like, so excited, I'm like anxious. Star Wars is life.
Yes, after opening last night, this is the first full day in theaters for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And the excitement around the latest installment of this modern-day sci-fi myth has reached all the way to Parliament Hill, of course.
Yeah. Friday we'll grab the kids after school.
Erin O'Toole also feeling the force. The Conservative MP released the spoof video in honor of today's Star Wars opening.
Ready for question period.
And this took a lot of work. His Jedi training is clearly complete. Now, O'Toole would have been just the right age to fully comprehend how powerful Star Wars is as a cultural touchstone. You had to be a kid in the late 70s, early 80s to know the experience of watching that Star Destroyer rumble into view for the first time. It was like being plunged headfirst into an ice-cold bucket of awesome. This is just a taste of the sensation it became in Canada way back then.
Well, it is so unreal and that you can't help but like it.
How many times have you seen Star Wars?
3.
How many times have you seen the show?
6 times. 7. This is my 8th time.
Why do you come back 8 times?
Because I like it, that's why.
Well, don't you get bored in parts of it?
Mm-mm.
You come here often.
Not anymore. Star Wars is a modern-day fairy tale, which I really like because it took me on an adventure. I really understood robot R2-D2's feelings when he was scared and when he was crying. I liked the film, but there are some parts that were hard to understand, such as how a simple boy from the country can fly a spaceship and shoot a gun and hit right on target. And that Princess Leia was sure bossy. I'm Albin Fitz from Toronto, and that's entertainment.
That's entertainment.
Okay, so we got very excited by that video. Reached out to Auden Fitz today, thinking maybe she had great thoughts, and she said, yeah, no, I've never seen another Star Wars film, so it doesn't take for everyone.
You notice how she said Princess Leia was very bossy? As a child, I always insisted on being Princess Leia. That'll be of no shock to anyone here.
Role model.
I just wish I had some of those original action figures. You know, the ones that are worth like $1 bajillion?
Yes, don't we all?
Would have changed my life.
All right, guys, that is the National for December 15th. Good night.
Good night.